Heidi-ho, Brewerinos! Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to work on a few new intros. Anyway, it's Barbarian's Riddle, and I'm here with an absolutely sanguine modern deck, starring one of the breakout cards from Core 2020. Sorin, Imperious Bloodlord. The deck is called Pitch Black. The inspiration for this deck actually isn't Sorin himself, but rather a pet card of mine that became actually usable. Chancellor of the Dross. Chancellor is a deadly flying 6/6 lifelink vampire that's so overcome with bloodlust that it can strike opponents from your opening hand. It says, you may reveal this card from your opening hand. If you do, at the beginning of the first upkeep, each opponent loses 3 life, then you gain life equal to the life lost this way. Seems pretty good, right? So why haven't I heard of this card? Where has it been? Why is this? Why am I just hearing about this now? Well, see, it's what even we in the brewing community call a liquid disc of It costs 4 black to cast, making it nigh unplayable. That is, until now. So this card now can just swoop in to play thanks to Lucius over here. Now, while this is a cute interaction, it isn't nearly enough to justify writing Chancellor because frankly, this ain't it, Chief. So why do it? And why is the deck called Pitch Black? Do you have a Mountain Dew fetish or something? Why did you do this? It seems asinine. Patience, my child. Patience. The name Pitch Black comes from the fact that we are running 2 alternate casting cost or pitch spells. Force of Despair, which can be anything from a kill spell to a board wipe depending on when it's played, and Soul Spike, a 7 mana instant that can hit a target for 4 and gain you 4 life. Both of these have alternate casting costs that involve you exiling black cards from your hand, which normally is a pretty steep cost. Unless, of course, you have, say, some big, ugly 7 mana Bloodsucker that you can toss aside like a Desiccated Husk. Additionally, we also run Call the Bloodline to keep up pressure and turn dead cards in our hands into vampire tokens, either to attack and block as you expect creatures to do, or to be Helix fuel for Sorin, Imperious Bloodlord. With these cards, we now have 4 uses for Chancellor of the Dross as a card in hand beyond the drain and gain we get at the beginning of the game. As far as other creatures go, we also run a Silent Visitor to help us refill our hands as the pitch spells tend to suck them right out. Luckily, we should almost always be able to draw extra cards with our Late Night Visitor helping us find our way. We also run a full set of Bloodghast and Oathsworn vampires because they're easy to recur after being flung by Sorin, and they don't suck at keeping pressure on our opponent's life total. After that, we have some generic mono black stuff that's just good. We have Liliana the Veil. Yas, Queen! Thoughtseize. Ugh! My brain! And Inquisition Close to ugh! My brain again! But slightly smaller. Given the current flux Modern is in, I don't have a consistent sideboard I'd be comfortable sharing on the video as absolute. So while the deck list will have one, please feel free to adjust according to your meta. That said, here are a few cards I would highly recommend. Kalidas, Trader of Get, is a vampire that can act as an additional Leyline of the Void. He is also really solid for grinder matchups, and against creature decks, his abilities can get out of control really fast. So, Den of Winter, you're going to note that all the basics in my deck are snow-covered swamps. The reason for that is, some decks are going to just be better at going wide, and in a monocolored deck, the cost of running Den of Winter is so low. This is essentially our Anger of the Gods, and it's going to be great against a lot of matchups that are able to just go way wider than we can. Mo Lilies, mo problems. Liliana the Veil is just a back-breaking card in certain matchups, and still amazing in others, so of course there's more of her in the sideboard. Again, this isn't a Bible sideboard where you have to follow it, but I included 2 Liliana's Triumph. It's a really solid card, it's really good, it kills a lot of creatures, and it is really solid for the Boggles matchup, so that's a huge plus. Honestly, it's just overall a good Edict card that is solid in our deck. Then there's Surgical Extraction. Again, this is just a good card. I mean, I shouldn't need to explain this to you. Seriously, what are you still doing here? Go on. If you don't know what Surgical Extraction is, go read an online website. Go. Are you still here? Okay, time for the outro. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching my video. I really appreciate it a lot. I did so much to prepare for this. I wore a cape, I broke into a blood bank. I even watched the first season of What We Do in the Shadows, which, by the way, was quite good. Anyway, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. As always, I like to end with a question. What card are you most excited to make a bad deck around in Core 2020? Be it in Standard, Modern, Legacy, or even Oathbreaker? I'm really excited to hear all the brews you guys are coming up with, and no, I do not want to hear about Risen Reef for the millionth time. As always, guys, have fun, roll safe, and make sure to, well, I can't really talk about banks and Oathbreaker. This is an Oathbreaker video. Oh, always mull over your Modern mulligans. Peace out.